to approve of our last meeting, which was July 16th. Entertained a motion for that approval.
I'll second.
All in favor, say yes.
Yes.
Okay, motion carries. We need to swear in anyone here who wishes to testify. Stan and Mr. Ratliff will swear you in.
Thank you. Please stand and raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you provide today will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Thank you. Please be seated.
Subject number one, Kyle Tyner, owner of two lots on Ohio Drive, and they're identified here by the plots numbers. You proposed building on the one lot such as size will accommodate with no restrictions on that particular lot as far as the plans are concerned, as far as any kind of variance. However, the access to that lot is a lot 50 feet wide that runs back to his property. So the portion of his property that fronts on Ohio Drive is a 50-foot wide property. That's going to, as I say, going to use it as a driveway. The property is located in a suburban R1 zoning district, which requires a minimum of 80 feet. Therefore, Mr. Tyner is asking for a variance to use that particular property for a driveway and thus be able to build his building on this plot of land. We've got drawings of the house, we've got plot layout that clearly illustrates what the situation is. Landon, would you like to speak to this
Yeah,
issue?
you did a fine job of explaining it there. As you can see, the two lots in question would be the one on the south that's highlighted in yellow, and the one connected to it to the north that's highlighted in light blue. The larger lot there, on lot 488, is where Kyle is proposing to build the new home. And as you said, the R1 requires that you have a frontage on a dedicated street at a minimum width of 80 feet. The lot that is giving them access to the rear portion is only 50 feet, so they need a variance from that. Obviously, it would just include the driveway portion to access the property. As you can see, the lot has plenty of buildable area. There's no issues with side yard setbacks or any other setbacks or any other development standards for the R1 zoning district. It is just simply the width at which Ohio Drive we have on Ohio Drive.
Any comment from Tyners?
No.
Okay.
Included in your feedback received that I gave you there at the beginning of the meeting, Mr. Tyner went to the neighboring property owners, explained what they were trying to do with the property, and had numerous signatures in support of what they're proposing. So it seemed like a pretty...
10 signatures to be specific. So
And we received another call.
With no objections, okay.
With no objections.
And no objections otherwise. Okay. Just curious, approximately acreage on the lot that you're going to build on, just roughly, what it is, an acre back there? The lot that you're going to build on?
Yeah,
It's about
About-
3.3.
like the green highlighted right there?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like 3.3 or something
Okay,
like that.
all right. This is curious.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Okay. Any questions?
Make a motion to grant. I'll second it.
Rodney second. Okay. Motion's been made and seconded that we approve that variance. Roll call, please, on that.
Mr. McKeever?
Yes.
Mr. Stride?
Yes.
Mr. Farmer?
Yeah.
Mr. Stover?
Yes.
Okay, motion carries. Got the green light to proceed.
All right,
Thank you, guys.
thank you very
You're
much.
welcome. Thank
Have a
you.
good night.
Kyle, just stop up and see me once you're getting closer to the process starting. We'll
Okay.
sit down and go through all the permits you're gonna need.
Okay.
We can put them together, just call me and set up a time.
Perfect, all right, thank you guys.
Thanks.
Have a good night.
Okay, subject number 2. Kevin Buchanan, owner of K&B Machine Tool, would like to purchase the property at 1695 East Mansfield, which is a wire assembly building, commonly known to most people as a wire assembly building, to relocate his business into that particular building. His operations is a machine shop, welding shop, and this particular property, the one he wants to build it, wants to change into or relocate into, is in the light industrial commercial zoning district, LIC district. According to that particular district, he has to satisfy a variance, which is ordinance 117903A2, which is pretty broad classification for that particular district, but it's classified as an industrial category for this general business. Correct? As far as I can see, it's a
The difference between the LIC and the general industrial, the limited industrial commercial district is, it's for a wider range of commercial uses, not necessarily those in the heavier industries without conditional approval. So the industrial services category, which includes the welding shop, the machine shop, that type of thing, is in those heavier uses, which is permitted in the general industrial district outright, but in the LIC it requires the conditional use approval from you guys.
So did the previous wireless and fall in general?
When Wire Assemblies was operating, my assumption is that they were operating as a grandfathered, non-conforming use. After that, after it had been closed down, it was zoned general business. We had a zoning change last fall that took place on East Mansfield Street that included the Whetstone Plaza, the residential area there in between, and then the wire assembly site, with the former two going to general business and the wire assembly site being moved to LIC in an effort to get use out of the building. Something that would go to a general business district likely wouldn't be a structure of that sort. And if we didn't try to get something in there, it likely would have just continued to decay.
Mr. Buchanan, you have any?
The only thing I was gonna say is, that the reason we're moving here is we're growing. Right now, we're in one of the Baja Boat buildings, building 100 with W Lot Company. And when we moved to Bucyrus back in 2012, we had 3 full-time employees. As of today, we have 19 full-time and 2 part-time. We're growing out of the space we have, and W Lot is actually growing also. They want the rest of their building back, basically. We're gonna, we have to put a new roof, if we end up, I'm assuming you guys all know, it goes to auction September 10th. And I just wanna make sure if we do buy the building, we can move into it. We got a roof to put on it. Basically redoing the whole inside of the building, all the offices has to be redone and that. So it's going to be a substantial amount of money we're going to put into the building and hopefully keep it in a good.
What are your hours of operation? Is it going to be a 24-hour?
Right now we work from 1:30 in the morning until production usually stops about 3 o'clock in the afternoon. We do machining, welding, We have brake presses and that, but no real, as of right now, no thumping presses, they're all hydraulic presses. Even when we have doors open at the Baja boats, you don't hear the noise.
I just wanted to clarify your comment.
Eventually, our goal is to go at least 2 shifts, 1:30 till midnight, so basically 24-hour shift.
How many more do you plan on hiring possibly?
If we get this next contract that we're pushing for, we're gonna be hiring at least 8 people. 6 welders and 2 maintenance. But I'm not, that's still depending on the contract.
I'm assuming this building would, with the size, would satisfy your needs for quite a
I
lot more in the way of production.
Oh, yes. I started my business in 1999 in a 2,000 square feet building. In 2002, I bought a building in Guyana, it was 5,000 square feet. When I moved over here to the Baja Boat Complex, I moved into a 10,000 square feet. And right now I have right about between 18 and 20,000 square feet we use right now. And this is roughly 44,000. So, yeah,
Okay.
Hopefully it will keep us
Yep,
space for a while.
Okay.
What's your future plans to include anything other than what you'd see in a normal machine shop?
No. Welding and machining is our
What's your
niche.
forte?
We're going to be doing machining and welding, which is going to be producing some epoxy papers. We have in place, or plan on in place for,
Fumes.
yes, fumes for,
We are in the process of looking at a torrid system, a vacuum system that has the filters and all that. There again, we're looking, the system that we're looking at right now is about between $60,000 and $80,000 that we're going to be adding to the building. And actually, the system, the vacuums and everything will be in the back side of the building, so it won't be, right now you won't be able to see it from the road. I mean, who knows what's going to happen behind the building naturally, but as far as
well, you won't have open windows or anything for the public to be able to see the operations in there anyway.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
From
It's
the
not
front-
going to be a public safety issue from the welding glare.
from the front side, there's only 3 walk-in doors.
Right.
We are looking at possibly putting a big overhead door in the back side for steel receiving. But yeah, there will not, as of right now, there will never be any major open doors in front.
I did pass out there just the general standards for conditional use approval, and it falls kind of in line with the questions you guys are asking. Just to take into consideration the additional outputs from that type of work. But from the way Mr. McKinn describes it, it sounds like there will be little to no exterior effect from the work.
I'm quite sure that OSHA is going to address any of those issues anyways. So.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Okay. I wouldn't suspect there'd be some difference, but wouldn't be a lot of difference from the other manufacturing facility that was most recently there. In other words, they didn't weld necessarily.
I think the majority of their stuff was all just assemblies, manually. Yeah, I don't think they had.
So that would be in the same general category that we're really talking about, as far as, I say light manufacturing, but I guess technically.
And, increase in traffic, East Mason Street's already highly traveled.
But he's not having 100 employees. I mean, we're talking 10 cars leaving in and out, and maybe several trucks coming in.
Let's say on average we have, I'm gonna say on average, probably maybe 1 truck a day. We do a lot of hauling with our own truck and trailer. And on average, you know, like this week, we're not shipping anything. Next week, we have about 30 loads to go to Marion. But it's just a pickup truck with a 25-foot trailer, so.
You couldn't see an occupied building.
I'll make a motion to grant the variance.
Bill does. Yeah, Bill second. Motion has been made and seconded to approve this variance. Roll call, please, on that.
Mr. McKeever?
Yes.
Mr. Snooker?
Yes.
Mr. Farmer? Yes. Mr. Scribe?
Yes.
Okay, motion carries.
Thank you guys very much.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Good luck with your bidding.
Yeah, the next hurdle is September 10th.
Okay.
And be sure to keep me updated on that, and, you know, if you do end up winning it, we can talk about what needs to happen after that.
Great.
Okay, issue number 3 and 4 are carryovers from last month's meeting. First one is a sign issue at the Bucyrus United Methodist Church on Hopley Avenue. Landon, do you want to address what was done since that meeting?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
So the United Methodist Church applied for a variance for the sign code to allow for them to place something like the sign you see here in the picture. And they had to do so because it's actually located in a residential district, and those are only allowed per your approval. At the time, and per the sign code, the only requirements that I could have enforced would have been that they're inside of a 25-foot triangle off of the apex of the intersection, and then they're inside the right-of-way. Other than that, they didn't really have any firm placement, firm idea of where they were actually going to place the sign. So at our last meeting, it was decided that myself and our street superintendent, Jeff Dunn, would meet their representatives on site and, you know, do a little work to see what we need to do to make sure that there's no visibility issues, additional visibility issues with the intersection. What you see here is the proposed placement of the sign. It is still that, you know, 2 4-by-8-foot banners in a V fashion. And this picture was taken from the approximate location you would be if you stopped at the stop block like you normally should. From my height instead of in a car, but it's a little higher than normal. But that is the location that they're proposing. This picture was taken from when you actually have to pull up to see around the rest of it. You get to about where you're even with the stop block yourself, and you can see at that point the sign is basically behind the building line, not increasing any visibility issues from our standpoint. This picture shows that 25-foot triangle that we were talking about, so these measurements were taken and then you draw a line straight across, and that's where you come to where they were strictly prohibited from placing it within that area. But to achieve what we wanted visibly, and with the assistance of our esteemed street superintendent you see there in the picture, this was the additional footage, and I think it was something around 10 feet. I didn't write that number down.
Something 9 or 10.
9 or 10 feet additional from that 25-foot triangle that we thought would be a safe place for it. And this is just kind of a picture of the final proposed placement of the sign. So that's what myself, Jeff, Gary, and his wife were in the field that day. That's kind of what we came up with. And we bring that back to the board to see if that satisfies.
And again, back behind that act is actually going to be a wood fence type like you'd see in a horse farm or that type of fence structure permanently, so as the signs are changed, it will at least it will look presentable if there is some point where there isn't something over there.
You're saying that would be the backing?
Yes,
of the
correct,
signs?
correct, yes, that's where the signs will be attached to. Yes.
Personally, I have to pull up and stop, and then go forward on the stop line into the crosswalk area to be able to see far enough around to the southeast, to be able to be sure that I have a sure clear distance to pull out there anyways, without any type of sign up there at all. So I don't see that any sign there is going to create any further visibility problem.
The only thought I had there, and I understand the point you're trying to make, but with a school right there, or even, utility trucks or a garbage truck or whatever the case may be, they sit at a much higher vantage point when they come to that stop. So I thought it was important to also make sure that we weren't causing any visibility issues for someone who sits higher than a normal car or a normal pickup truck. If they have a higher vantage point, they may have been able to see more than you can in a normal car. So that was the consideration that I really wanted to take into account, especially being right next to the school.
I think we decided you would have more visibility from where it's now placed if you toward the building. I mean, so it's back behind that visibility, line of sight issue. I think that's either yea or nay.
Yeah, if you get, I know, it's up to your guys' satisfaction, so.
I don't have any objection, because like you've seen, and you have to pull out there anyhow to see, you see the building before you see the sign.
I think Bill's point is that especially if you have a lower car, like my little Honda Civic, you have to pull way out. Now, if you're up in like a van or a school bus, that's where this issue becomes important, because there you can see above the wall, otherwise you can't see above the retaining wall anyway.
Right.
I'd like to make a motion to approve the variance. I'll second
Okay. Motion by Rodney, second by Mark, roll call.
Mr. Stride?
Yes.
Mr. McKeever?
Yes.
Mr. Farmer?
Yes.
Mr. Stoner?
Yes.
Okay, motion carries, okay? Now, we'll go forward.
Joan, know that she can come see me for
Go ahead, get your permit. 2 o'clock there, then. 8 o'clock tomorrow morning, no, Robert, that's the way you said it. Okay. Next issue is resumption of the variance for building for Ronald Smith out on Brookside Drive. We had a number of things going on there, and still do to some extent. Would you start off the conversation, Landon?
bring us back up to speed here. Initially, Mr. Smith submitted an application for a variance from the front yard setback to build out on Brookside Drive. They're located in the RE zoning district, which requires a front yard setback of 75 feet. He was requesting a variance from the front yard setback to build 30 feet from the front yard lot line. We set that meeting up, and as it got closer, a couple of other issues became apparent. There was a lot split that was taking place that I was unaware of until the day prior to the BZA hearing, so that required planning commission approval because it was a previously approved subdivision plat, and any modifications, changes, revisions, anything like that to a pre-approved, an already approved subdivision plat has to go back to planning commission for their approval. They went back last Tuesday, and planning commission granted that approval to split and reconfigure those lots. So that was the one step that needed to be taken care of. Second was the issue related to an ingress-egress easement with the property owner to the south of the proposed building site. Mr. Auk has submitted an easement, which he says grants him that ingress-egress rights. We did send a letter to the Combs who protested last time, letting them know that the issue would be coming back up. I don't know if their absence today means they no longer have an issue with it. And Rob just stepped out, but he could speak more on this matter than I can. Basically, Dave believes he has the easement, and that's where we are at now.
Oh, it's coming back. Is there any other question?
Just talking about the easement issues on Brookside Drive.
We don't know. I mean, there's multiple things there. There's easements that have been presented. It's not really our issue, if you will. It's the issue between those owners and the property owners and the abutting neighbors. The easement was granted a long time ago. Whether the use complies with the easement, that's not for us to decide. That's for, if somebody contests the easement or is contesting it, that's for a court to decide. We're simply here to, look at the zoning issues.
So Rob, you're saying regardless if we approve this or not, they can still be denied building the house there if there were other issues with the easement?
They wouldn't necessarily be denied the opportunity to build a house. They could be denied access to the property. But there are numerous legal maneuvers to gain access, constructive easements, access to the property and rights to access, numerous other things, plus the actual easement there. But that's an issue between, the people that are parties to that easement and
Not really any of our concern.
yeah.
Now, the lot is reconfigured. What is the width of the lot?
It was reconfigured, and I should have provided that, but I didn't think about it. It's reconfigured as to both of the new lots still meet the development standards.
Okay.
That was kind of a condition of the approval. So there's no issue with the.
Really, the only
development
issue we
standards.
have basically is with the setback from the street. Okay?
At this point, we have no other issues with any of the neighbors or anything.
Do you have any comment on the easement issue? I mean, we've got a copy of the agreement you signed back in, 2000 or thereabouts.
It would have been in about 1990.
Yeah, you're right. I'm 1990 it was.
I purchased approximately 10 acres from Chuck Stillings, and Chuck Stillings granted, and then subsequently he sold land to Kimbrough, where the condos are now. And both of those sales were subject to ingress and egress easements as is shown on the document. The splitting of costs of maintenance of the ingress and egress is a separate issue. Basically, Ken Brothers has an agreement with Mr. Combs, and I have an agreement through our easement with Kim Brothers, and we share that cost 50-50. What Kim Brothers owes in that maintenance is shared 50-50 between Brookside and the condos. The only other comment I have is that since 1995, homes have been built back there. This would be the last lot, the last home, and these issues didn't come up in those other.
That was going to be my other question. There's no other lot there that would be anything else.
At this point, no. There's beside the reconfigured lot, Mr. Smith is interested in. There's a piece of ground that I don't see it as being big enough to.
The only thing would be the area past the street, the end of the street, back in there, which would be, that doesn't even need to.
That's a whole different
Yeah,
issue.
well,
And what the ingress egress is to that. I don't know.
Yeah. You have any comment?
No, not really, other than
As Rob said, your issue is gonna be with, if there's any problem with the easement, you just have to.
Yeah, I mean, it looks to me, at least, I'm not a legal, scholar, but I mean, it looks like what Dave has provided is sufficient, I
Yeah.
would think, to grant me the right of coming and going on that particular piece of ground. So, I mean, if you folks would be so kind as to approve this, I'm planning on moving forward with building a home there.
Ron, could you speak to why specifically your request, I don't know if we did this at the previous hearing, but with your layout of your proposed development, as it relates to the topography of the area,
Yeah, I
as to
know.
why you're requesting the
Yeah,
30-foot setback?
Number one, the house right next door received a variance, same kind of variance, 15 years ago. They built 30 feet from the property line. I'm going to build a house right next door to him. I didn't want to be 75 feet back looking at his house from my front window, so I just wanted to be symmetrical at least on that property. That was one aspect. The other was, the lot in question has a nice slope to it. So I wanted to build a ranch with a walkout basement. So if I had to go 75 feet back, that pushes me too far down the hill to the point where I lose, all advantages of that slope. And in order to do a walkout basement, I'd have to have an earth mover in there and, so.
This way you can use the natural terrain.
Exactly.
To build based on that.
Exactly.
I will mention that in 2006, when John Blackford built the house that Ron refers to, the committee approved that 30-foot setback, and it was for precisely the same reasons. John, when he built his house, built a lower-level walkout and took advantage of the topography of the lot.
I went back there and just kind of looked around yesterday again, that would have no bearing, the depth of where that house is at would have no visibility bearing either way. I mean, if you were, they mentioned that they'd be looking across the street at the house at the pool. Well, they'd see the same house if it was 70 feet away or if it was 35 feet. So that issue.
Well, there'd be a little bit less elevation.
A little
I mean,
bit,
I'd be-
but
yeah, the
it's
house-
still there. It's a house there.
Exactly.
So I kind of thought, well, that's certainly the point.
I agree.
Question? Motion?
I like to make a motion that we approve the variance.
Okay.
Second.
Okay, we've had the motion on the floor to approve this variance. Roll call.
Mr. Stoner? Yes. Mr. Farmer?
Yes.
Mr. McKeever? Yes. Mr. Stride?
Yes.
Okay, variance is granted.
Thank you.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Appreciate it very much.
You're welcome.
Ron, just touch base with me when you get a chance.
Yeah, I'm gonna get a hold of Dave Bergen, he's gonna be the guy, and we'll come up together and talk with you on what permits. Thank you.
Anything else we need to discuss?
Yeah, we received a variance application yesterday, so we will be needing to schedule an additional hearing sometime in the near future. I think right now we're looking at possibly the first Tuesday in September, depending on how the rest of this week goes with Bratwurst and everything, giving us enough time to get the letters together, get the notification process.
Is that for the property on East Southern?
No, this is for a property just next to Mr. Lipscomb's almost. Mr. Zarcone is wanting to build not an enclosed, but a roof over his patio to the rear. And there are some setback issues because it's actually zoned in the downtown business district. And when that happens, it always causes an issue, so we just need a variance on that one, and I suspect we may see another application rolling in between now and then, so.
I looked at my calendar, I'm scheduled for just to follow up the bigger plan that day, so I probably gonna make it back with Floyd thinks he's gonna have problems whatsoever. But I had one problem there.
We'll see where we get. In this case, the letters and the signs would have to go out by next Tuesday if we would have it on that date. So depending on what happens with the rest of my week, how much we're able to organize.
I wouldn't have a problem with him at all, next to it, so, just for what's good. Anything else?
Facebook page. It's coming. as it has been for the last several weeks. I believe the page is complete, and it just has to be assigned to me to be the administrator of that page, so I can update it with, our information and that type of stuff. But hopefully, this is the last time you'll hear this from me, and next time you'll be able to get on our engineering and zoning Facebook page and get updates about variances and all that stuff.
That will then be the only internet accessible information page for the meetings then?
Yes, my intention is to simply link it to our city web page, or our zoning page, so I will have our web developer put a link in there. If you're looking for information regarding board of zoning appeals hearings or whatever the case may be, follow this link and then it'll take you to the Facebook page. I also want to utilize it just from an engineering and zoning standpoint, putting reminders out there, hey, it's summertime, if you want to put a pool up, come get a permit, just to kind of use it as a way to get information out there to people, on top of notification for our hearings.
Greg kind of indicated yesterday when I talked to him, that he was considering going back to the manual handout of the notices. Probably more about that rather than.
I didn't know. He's the only other one that gets it. Mark and, or Mr. McKeever and Mr. Stucker already get theirs electronically, so. You had any problems with, you got everything we sent to you?
Almost everything. I got a little bit of the wire assemblies building. I didn't get all that.
A bigger package.
Okay, well, let's just kind of see that. The one thing I noted was that the maps that are sent, at least the devices I have.
Some kind of
It's not,
value
it's
issues.
of no value.
Yeah.
It's just a square there,
Okay.
I don't know if there's any way to.
We'll see what we can do.
I had it up there.
Yeah, well, yeah, absolutely, that's
But
great.
it'd be helpful if you guys had a clear picture before it's
Yeah.
up on the screen, obviously. We'll see what we can do as far as increasing visibility on those, just as a function of how we scan them in, see if we can increase, some of the quality on just our scans, and maybe that'll help cut out some of what we're losing in translation.
All right, anything else? Anybody, if not, motion adjourned, so moved. Mark?
Second?
Bill, second. All in favor, say yes.
Yes.
Okay, adjourned at 4:39.
We have our second meeting at 5, and I should have scheduled it for earlier, because we can't be done any earlier, so if the gentleman needs to.
Actually, put it at 4:30.
Oh, you did?
Yes, it did.
Yeah.
Well, hey.
Yeah, it's cool.
Let's do it.
All right, okay, great, then. Okay.
So if anyone needs a break, enough time, we'll get Gordon set up, and
Okay.
we can get the second portion.
I've already got a moment.
Can you skip straight?